Who's the most disappointing team this season in the NFL?
Dallas Cowboys. You got some good choices, but the answer is the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys have a Super Bowl roster, and I didn't pick them to win the Super Bowl because of the coach. But I expected a good regular season record. In fact, I was pretty conservative about it. I recall when we picked Stephen A., you took them maybe for 11 wins, and I took them for 10. And I was really on the conservative side of win projections by most accounts. For the Cowboys, here we are, they're 6-6. And all they've beaten are garbage teams. They've beaten garbage teams. Every time they play a team with a pulse, they lose. They haven't had one quality win this year. Look at that roster, up and down the roster. The linebackers look bad. The linebacking core, on paper, I'll take them over anyone. The running back has looked hot and cold. The running back, they just paid him. He's elite completely, like middle of a Hall of Fame career. The quarterback was feasting on bad opposition, not so good against good opposition. I understand that the coach is the coach, Garrett's Garrett. That's why I said they may not go on an extended playoff run. They certainly won't win the Super Bowl. But 6-6 with 0 quality wins? This is not a situation where they brought in a new head coach that they just promoted from, and people don't know. Well, you know what you're getting with Garrett. We knew these were known commodities on the Cowboys. Elite wide receiver, elite running back, elite offensive line, ascending quarterback, stars on the defense, elite linebackers, way improved secondary, guys who could rush the quarterback. Not one quality win. It's the biggest disappointment in the NFL, unless you're a Giants fan. I mean, I'm loving it, but let's be honest.
I'm laughing at the thought that you think there's something about the Dallas Cowboys that would be disappointing to me. A matter of fact, I love what I'm seeing. So there's nothing about them that's disappointing to me right now.
At least you're consistent.
It makes my day. The team that really resonates with me, however, is the Cleveland Browns. And the reason why I feel that way is because of all the hype and the hoopla. See, with the Dallas Cowboys, it's the brand.
Idiots hyping the Cleveland Browns, am I right?
Yeah, like you.
What?
Yes, you're the one that set up there and said they were going to win the AFC North and they were Super Bowl contender.
Sure?
Those were your words.
Are you
yes,
sure?
Yes, it's tape.
You weren't alone on that, though.
That's fine. Go ahead. Come to his defense. It ain't going to help him. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this. Freddie Kitchens, rookie head coach. I pointed that out. Baker Mayfield, second-year dude. As I highlighted earlier in the show, more commercials than wins. At one time in October, he had more commercials than touchdown passes. I mean, that's how bad it's been. That's how bad it's been. Okay, you got Odell Beckham Jr. He's been targeted, 103 times, 57 receptions max, only 2 touchdowns this year. You're connecting with Odell Beckham Jr. only 55% of the times you've targeted him. You're connecting with Jarvis Landry only 60% of the times you've targeted him. And Njoku going down, playing just 2 games, obviously has compromised them. But you got Nick Chubb, who's been balling all year long, 1,100 plus yards rushing, 1,175 to be exact, averaging nearly 5 yards a carry. You got Kareem Hunt there. You got cats like Garrett before he got suspended, Denzel Ward and the crew. But you're 26th against the run. And everything that you look at with the Cleveland Browns points to a level of immaturity and undiscipline and hype that was not warranted. They milked it, they soaked it up, they exploited it and capitalized off of it in every way imaginable but producing wins. And when you consider how dormant this franchise has been for so long, and this is the first year that they legitimately had reasons for hope, you've given them pretty much nothing.
I admit this about the Browns.
And that is the problem.
You know, because we're in this business, we're aware of like show ratings sometimes. I've seen TV shows where the ratings are so low, it can't just be that randomly people don't know about it or anything. It must be that they're actively avoiding the show, right? When you hear about the number of targets and receptions and touchdowns that Odell has, that's not just random, like that is it would take talent. If you had Odell on your roster to come up with these numbers, it would take talent in order to do that. You'd have to be good at not getting him the ball.
You're not even targeting him in the red zone.
Can I ask one question? And I know we talked about Freddie Kitchens wearing the T-shirt, Pittsburgh started it, and that's the microcosm of this team's identity, and they're all flash and no substance. But are you completely off Baker Mayfield at this point? Do we feel like he's not that dude and doesn't have a future in the NFL?
I don't feel that way about Baker Mayfield. My problem with Baker Mayfield is, I think he's miniature in size in terms of height, and I think he's got to have better pocket awareness in terms of knowing where to throw the football from while standing in the pocket. But my biggest problem with Baker Mayfield is that he walks around too often like a victim, like somebody has maligned and victimized him, as opposed to recognizing the fact that you had issues in the past where people could have easily brought up your temperament because of your off-field transgressions and how you need to, but nobody's done that. All anyone has talked about with Baker Mayfield is football. And he acts like it's a crime to really bring up some of the stuff that has happened with him in football. And I think that mentality has been fostered by the Browns organization because they took him #1 overall and they gave him the head coach he wanted. Had they brought in a coach with no relation to Baker Mayfield, he would have had more of a business attitude. Yeah. But because you brought in his guy, I think you gave him an elevated level of power that he never should have had because he didn't earn it yet.
Baker Mayfield's like Lamar Jackson's 22 and doing this. Baker Mayfield's 24. He's old. Like he should.
He's going to have a good career.
So like he's a little older than like he should be in terms of making some of the mistakes he's made this year. I think Baker Mayfield's going to be a good player.
Okay. So do I.
He's okay this year, just not great. I got to say
I don't
this.
think he's okay this
year. Eagles may be more disappointing than the Browns. The Browns has a lot of potential, and we needed to see how it's going to come together. Eagles got the same head coach, same quarterback, at least from the regular season the last couple of years.
A lot of injuries.
A lot of injuries, but that goes into disappointment, too. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.